Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're taking a look at this X540 John Deere riding mower once again. About a month and a half ago, we went through it and found that the oil pump gear was broken off, so we had to replace all that. When I was putting it back together, I kind of just glazed over the water pump assembly on the sump when I was reassembling it, and I was a little disappointed in that I didn't go over that with more in-depth video. But on this John Deere or Kawasaki FD731V, once we pulled it in and out for a month or so, while I was waiting on the dry belt, I was also going to do the PTO seal at the same time, this thing started doing something that made sure I was going to pull this engine back off and go over that stuff with you again and show you how a little bit more in depth to get that put back together. Don't forget to hit those like and subscribe buttons as we go along if you enjoy the content. Pulling this mower in and out for a month, we had no issues. Then one day, this weep hole started leaking oil. There's only one reason for that to happen, and that is the oil seal that sits behind the mechanical seal for the water pump has failed. I do see people that will think the oil is leaking from this weep hole, and it actually ends up being the governor seal up top. So make sure that's completely dry if you're having this same issue. But that oil seal is going to need replaced. We're going to replace the mechanical seal for the water pump and then the other two water pump seals while we're in there. I obviously have the engine completely removed. I have the oil and the fluid drained. If you need to know how to do either one of those things, see the other video. I'll put the link to that in the description. Take my hose off. I showed all of this from start to finish in that other video, along with removing this water pump the first time when we removed the sump. We've got some 10mm bolts. And then we've got three 12mm bolts on the outside. The whole water pump cover just pops off from there. Yours may be a little bit more difficult because it's been stuck for a long period. Again, mine was just installed a little over a month ago. Take the gasket off, remove it, all in one piece. Again, yours will not come that easy. Next, remove the 10mm bolt holding the impeller on. Remember, when you do this, this is backwards threads. The whole impeller will come straight towards you and off. You can see now we're getting oil leaking and it's coming past that seal, but it hasn't made it past the mechanical seal to get mixed in with the coolant. The coolant is actually completely just coolant, but there's oil mixed on the back side in between the mechanical seal and the oil. Now let's take our O-ring off of the end of that shaft. The O-ring looks in decent shape. Still going to replace it. The weep hole is designed for coolant to come out if the mechanical seal fails, and for oil to come out if the oil seal fails. If this is leaking anything out of that weep hole, one of those is bad. The main PTO seal is over a hole right now. I'm just going to go to the outside edge of it and I'm going to drive it out back and forth just while we're in here. There it goes. It fell out the bottom. So we can reinstall that when we flip it back over. Next, we'll come to the mechanical seal and the oil seal that's at the bottom side. I'm just going to do the same thing, kind of just barely at an angle. You want to make sure not to ding anything up. I did think that this could be removed without actually taking the sump off, but I was wrong. I must have remembered that from some other model. So again, just kind of at an angle, and I'm catching that oil seal and the mechanical seal at the same time. All right. There it goes. Both of those are out. Use just a little isopropyl alcohol. Clean this all up. I did kind of ding that up just a little bit. We're just cleaning all of this sealant around the edge. There's a bunch of blue. It came off the old mechanical seal. I want that completely clean in there so it'll seal well with the new one. Dry it all out. Replacement oil seal is ready to go back in. Put just a little bit of grease on it. This is a silicone grease I'm using, both inside and out. I like to grease that up. And it goes straight down in. The part with the spring that's not flat goes towards the back or down. And I've got just a 5/8 socket. All I'm going to do is I'm going to use it to push that down in. You don't need to beat on it. You don't need to do anything like that. You need to get something that's about the same size and completely seat it all the way down there. That is installed good. It's completely seated. It doesn't take a whole lot to seat those seals. Then we move to the mechanical seal. And this, you can see it has that blue all the way around, just like the other one did. You don't want to touch any of the ceramic part in the middle. We'll put this piece to the side, and we'll do that as soon as we get the water pump impeller portion going. You find a socket to fit perfectly over the outside edge. You want something that's wide, so I've actually got 1 1/16 inch, and I've got this impact socket that fits just perfectly around there, so I can drive it down in easily. Always try to kind of start it easy, or start it evenly, and then center that up and just lightly tap around. Check it as it's going. Looks like we're going pretty evenly. Sure is going in evenly. We're not doing any damage to anything. Notice you're doing damage, you're not doing something right. If you heard that change in tone, that means you're seated. I heard that on this side, but not over here. Perfect. That change in tone means that our collar is seated all the way down to the bottom side, which is exactly where you want to be. If you look at that collar, perfect. We will do our PTO seal next, since we're right here. Same here, I like to just use some of that same grease on the outside and on the inside. Got an 1 5/16". It's just about the right size. You want something that goes to the outside edge. You want to start this kind of evenly. It's at a little bit of an angle currently as I tried to push it down in there. So I'll do the high side first. And again, it's just a real light tap. You don't want to hit it too hard as you're driving any of this down in there. Good, this side's in further than the other. We want to go just under flush, about a 1/16 or so of an inch. Right where that lip lines up, you want it to be even all the way around. I think this side is just a hair up. Go over here one more time. Beautiful. That's where we want to be. Next, for the impeller seal, if we just push right under the impeller and pry up, it'll come right out. All this basically is a piece of ceramic and rubber around it. Clean that out real well. Got a little isopropyl. Not sure what those kind of stains on the aluminum are. It doesn't feel like there's anything there. Not going to be too worried about it. That is good. Around the outside, it's kind of still got some splooge there. Clean as much of that as you possibly can. If you can't feel it in there, then it's not going to cause a problem. That's good. For the new one, again on this, you never want to touch the mating surfaces. You don't want any grease on there at all. You want that to be completely dry and free of anything. Ceramic on ceramic. Just a little around. And then I will grab a clean rag. Put a piece of plastic over it. Just the one that came with it. I don't want anything on there. I don't want this rag touching it or anything. And you're going to just push evenly down in. It just ensures that nothing's going to get on that mating surface. It is completely sealed all the way around. It doesn't take much to get it down in there. If you get anything on it, you can wipe it off. If you've got a clean finger, that does work, but you really don't want to touch it if at all possible. Well, just these few extra $40 or $50 worth of parts that I should have done when I first had it apart could have cost me this entire mower. We are going to make a decent profit on it, and a very good profit, even with me removing the engine twice. But I should have went ahead and just spent that little bit of extra money and time, and I should have shown it better in the video the first time. I'm going to replace the radiator hoses on this, both of them, just to make sure we don't have any more issues. Obviously, the O-ring for the water pump that goes on there, I show how to do that in the video that I did the first time. I'll put a link to that right up above if you need to know disassembly or reassembly. If you have the same problem, click on that, watch the video, and see the disassembly and the reassembly, but use this as an intermediate if you need to replace that mechanical seal and oil seal. I always recommend it, along with the PTO seal last time. I didn't think that I had it here, even though I did. Either way, I'm glad that we got it taken care of. We'll replace that O-ring, the radiator hoses, replace the gasket for the water pump enclosure again, and this thing will finally be ready. And yes, we may pull it in and out again for a few weeks, but it will be sold to somebody who's going to be very happy with this machine come quick. This thing has fought me every step of the way. Same thing right after this started leaking, we set it in back, and guess what? The input seal for the hydro and the cap that goes over where the magnet is, they both started leaking at the same time. So once I pulled this engine off, I did replace that. I've got the drive belt and idler pulleys and everything replaced. This is a solid machine now, and there's really nothing else that we haven't addressed. Don't forget to hit those like and subscribe buttons if you enjoyed the content. Thanks for watching and have a great rest of your day.